said at the beginning. It's 3. Go, go. Yeah, there you go. Anything else, this is gonna make running in Indiana feel easier. Believe me, Chloe, I was slow today. I struggled.
And that's all you.
Yeah, well, guess what? I got past. My pace was well off. Hey everybody, it's Mark David Heiser. Day Did You Win? I am here to do my next race review. This one's going to be a little different. This one is from, we went on vacation this summer. We went out to Colorado, 4th of July, right over the 4th of July. And so of course, you know, I'm looking for any race I can get into, you know, just to say, hey, I ran a race in Colorado. Honestly, I was looking for, you know, that great race t-shirt that'd be from outside the area that I could wear around. However, I did find a 5K. It was a Freedom 5K. It was in Durango, Colorado on the 4th of July. I believe the race started at 9 a.m. and it was completely free. And you know, obviously, my wife was a little hesitant, I think, about doing even any kind of race while we were out there, especially paying money, because knowing that probably the rest of the family would want to do it, especially the girls. And I think obviously with it being a free race, that lessened the blow and it made it more of a possibility for us to do while we were on vacation. And so with it being free, you can imagine, no t-shirt, no chip timing, no awards or anything. So I have absolutely nothing to show you from this race except for pictures. That's all I got. But you know what? I'm gonna still talk about it anyways because it was a race that I ran. It was a run that was put together, and so we were actually staying probably about an hour and a half outside Durango, and so we had to drive in that morning to get there. It was at a park called Rotary Park. There was a lot of stuff going on actually in this park. There was a pancake and sausage breakfast going on. There was a concert going on. It was not a very large park, so finding parking honestly that morning was a struggle. You had to find street parking anywhere you could, and so we ended up parking only about 3 blocks away or so. It wasn't that bad, but no, if you're going to Durango over the 4th of July and you plan on doing this race, get there early to get your parking. There was a lot of people there. It was put on by the Durango Running Club. And so there were a lot of people out there. It was completely also on bike trails, and I'm going to look up the river because I'm going to mess it up. Enemies River, I believe, is how it's pronounced. But the run is on this bike trail all throughout all along the river. And so at the beginning it was crowded. Like I said, there were a lot of people. There were, obviously, with it being a fun run, not too many people were really racing. They're just out there running, which is great, but at the same time no one was really lined up by pace, and so you had to do a lot of zigzagging at the beginning. One thing they did mention during this during the build up to the run, while they're making announcements and such, is that it wasn't a 5K truly. It was a little longer, which was fine. I think I ran something like 3.4 miles. It was somewhere around there. It was basically where they could go. It was an out and back course, so it was basically where they can get enough area to make it a good area to actually turn around and come back to the park. So I don't think my daughters heard that, so I wasn't going to tell them. I thought, we'll tell them after the run is over. That way they don't have to worry about it. They don't have to complain about it the whole run. But it of course, Durango, I believe it's somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 feet in elevation. It may be more, but it was tough to breathe. Obviously, being someone from Indiana where we are pretty close to sea level, even though I'd been running out there for roughly a week and a half while on vacation, my lungs still were not used to it. And so, you know, obviously breathing was an issue for me and a lot of other people from out of town, the rest of my family especially. But truly, you know, obviously I don't mind the fact that we didn't get a t-shirt or there was no awards or whatever. It was a fun event. They made it fun. The city of Durango came out, and they had a bunch of stuff that, you know, people could wear if they want to, all for the 4th of July. Red, white, and blue necklaces, flags, big foam fingers. There were a lot of things. Of course, my daughters really loved it. They got into it, and they had a great time with this event as well. So while it was free, there was no timing, there was no shirt. It was a fun event. It was a great community event, one that you know, I would like to see more of. You know, not all the time do we have to make this all competitive. Obviously, you know, local running clubs, they throw on their weekly pub runs or whatever. But at the same time, you know, for these holidays, let's really get people out there and being active together and celebrate these occasions. You know, whether it is, I mean, Thanksgiving, obviously they have your turkey trouts all over the country, and they're great fundraisers. So that may not be the most opportune time, but you know, Memorial Day, at least in my neighborhood, there's not, where I live, there are not any races on Memorial Day. So why aren't we doing something like that on Memorial Day? Or Labor Day is kind of taken up in this area, but even Labor Day, why don't they do stuff like this on more holidays? Just to, like I said, get the community out and get them active together. We don't have to charge. We can just make it fun. We could set up a clock at the finish line so everybody can see their time, much like they did in Durango. But really, this was a fun event and a great community builder as well, especially for the people of Durango. And I hope that a lot of people from Durango came out to it and participated. I don't know where everybody was from. I did talk to a couple people. There were a couple from Durango. Some were Silverton, which is another hour or so away, but they're all over Colorado. A lot of people also on vacation like we were took part in this as well. So it was a great time. We loved it. We thought it was well worth the drive to get to, and also seeing the rest of Durango. And if you're not familiar with Durango, and if you're ever out in Colorado, stop by Durango. It's a great town, great historic town. They have a great train that runs from Durango to Silverton. It is costly, but it is one of the more popular things to do while you're out there. So, and if you're in Silverton, Hard Rock 100, it starts there in Silverton. And so if you want to check that out as well, that's well worth seeing. I did see the rock there at where it starts. So, you know, once again, fun, free race. We enjoyed it. And if we're ever back in Durango for the 4th of July again, we'll probably do it again. All right, guys, I got another race review coming up here real soon from the Parade 5000, which is an Elkhart County 4-H fair race. I'll talk about that. And also coming up, I'll have the Blueberry Stomp 15K, which was held this past Labor Day. So be watching for those. They're coming soon, and I'll talk to you guys later.